Hi, I'm Stephanie Strange. Want to hear something scary?
Dallas woke up in a cold sweat, his heart pounding. The light seeped through the blinds in the dimly lit dorm room. Dallas gasped as he saw Tyler's face inches from his own. "Dude, are you okay?" Tyler asked. Dallas managed to catch his breath. His pounding heart slowed. He wiped his sweat from his forehead. Bad dream. I'm fine now," he whispered. Tyler grabbed his bag from the floor. "You sure? That scream was pretty loud." Dallas dove back on his pillow, feeling embarrassed. To have been sleep-talking, it was their first week of college in a dorm room with a roommate they barely knew. This was the last thing either of them needed. Tyler chuckled, his eyes glinting mischievously. He told Dallas he was basically a one-man horror show that kept him up all night. Dallas was mortified. He muttered an apology and assured Tyler it wouldn't happen again. Dallas's heart sank when he realized he was going to be late for class. This was only his second lecture, and he had hoped to sit next to Lily, a cute girl with beautiful long hair who had caught his eye. Racing to get to the classroom, he managed to get a seat right behind her. He was excited to be so close to her beauty, and he quickly got lost admiring that smell of her perfume and her long, beautiful hair. He neglected to even see or even notice his professor. As he tried to think of a way to spark a conversation, his thoughts were interrupted when the professor unexpectedly called on him. He stumbled through his response, feeling his cheeks flush with embarrassment, and Lily struggled to hold back her giggles. After class, Lily turned around to look at him with a warm smile on her face. She asked him if he needed help studying. She was pretty good at the class and thought maybe she could help him out. Dallas tried to keep his cool as he said yes, and they agreed to go to the library. That night, Dallas, gushing over what happened, went straight back to his dorm, hoping he'd dream of Lily. But the night terrors returned. He woke up screaming, and once again, Tyler was hovering over him. "You have got to get this under control," Tyler grumbled, his face drawn from the lack of sleep. Dallas assured him it was just another bad dream. The next day, he met Lily after class to help him study, but he found himself spending more time just staring at her, yet again captivated by her beauty. He was unable to focus on his books, and he began to worry about falling behind in class. As evening approached, Dallas sat in bed studying for the test. He was worried if he fell asleep, the nightmare would return, and the vicious cycle of disturbing Tyler would start all over again. But exhaustion won. He drifted off to sleep. The transition from sleep to nightmare was seamless. This time, Dallas found himself paralyzed, a heavy weight crushing on his chest. Panic surged through him as he struggled to breathe, his vision blurred by long, flowing hair. He could feel it this time, a much stronger sensation than before, and the choking grip of the demon. Desperation fueled his determination, and with a surge of strength, he clawed at the demon's face. In an instant, he awoke, gasping for air, and Tyler's face loomed above him yet again as he shook his head. Dallas glanced at his bed and saw his open textbook. As he was about to close it, he noticed an eerie coincidence. It was on the page featuring Henry Fusili's The Nightmare. The creature in the painting looked hauntingly familiar. Determined to uncover the truth, Dallas grabbed his laptop and started looking for information. He stumbled upon the tale of Lilith, a she-demon known for tormenting men in their sleep. His heart raced as he made an unsettling connection between his experiences and the ancient legend. A sudden pounding on the door jolted Dallas out of bed. He felt disoriented, unsure if he was still trapped in his nightmare. He stumbled towards the door. As it swung open, Lily stood before him, her hair obscuring one side of her face. A sense of dread crept over Dallas, the same suffocating feeling that had plagued him during his night terrors, and it began to tighten its grip on his chest. Lily's demeanor seemed off, her actions unnatural. He watched in horror as she entered the room, her movements slow and deliberate. She turned towards him, and as she brushed her hair aside, he caught a glimpse of a bloody cut on her face. It was identical to the wound he had inflicted on the demon in his nightmare. He backed away, his mind reeling while his body trembled. "It couldn't be real," he said. Lily's eyes glinted with an eerie intensity. "Oh, but it is, Dallas." He stumbled, his gaze darting around the room, searching for an escape. He begged for Tyler to wake him once more, his voice raw with desperation. But Tyler never came. This wasn't a nightmare. The room seemed to close in on him, and darkness engulfed his vision. Lily pushed him to the ground. His attempts to resist were useless against her inhuman strength. Her weight upon his chest was unbearable. His ribs cracked one by one under the pressure. As blood poured from his mouth and his consciousness faded, the last thing he saw was Lilith's true face, twisted into a sinister grin, ready to feed upon her latest victim before disappearing to find another man to prey on.